Hi, you guys. So, the tragedy of the idea of a soulmate, which 73% of Americans believe in, and men are more likely to believe in than women, and which is surprising. And then we're less likely to believe in as we mature and grow, and maybe go through more experiences with relationships not being the one and lasting forever. But the tragedy with the idea of a soulmate is that there's such high stakes in the relationship. And one of the things, there's a couple concepts that are becoming more familiar around relationships, at least I hope that they are. One of them is, hi you guys, hi Star, hi Dean, hi Eric. One of them is to know your deal breakers. So to know your requirements. So this can be things like if you have kids or if you want kids, reasons that you've broken up with someone in the past. So when you're getting into a relationship, if you have this like soulmate philosophy and approach, somebody shows up, there's powerful chemistry, and it's on down the road. This is the one. Here we go. And you can be a lot more prepared and keen just to check out and field if there's any deal breakers there. Hi, Julie. And hi, you guys. So, hi, Eric. So anyway, let me pay attention to what I'm thinking about here. So, as long as, there's a certain amount of, or as long as you know that you've got like a healthy base of what you're interested in a relationship, that these deal breakers that have ended relationships for you or would be like cataclysmic to relationships for you are not present, then you know that you've got a relationship that you can work with. So this is kind of like a much more mature, much more secure. So this is another concept that's getting more familiar in relationships is our attachment style. We tend to go with what's familiar. So a secure person is probably more aligned with a growth mindset in relationships. The soulmate mindset is more of, oh my gosh, this has got to be it. This is the one. And then, oh my gosh, maybe it's not. Oh my gosh, maybe I'm wasting my time. So the stakes are really high and the relationships can be really, they can be brief or they can be long or they can be intense. But they aren't necessarily as stable as someone who has a secure attachment style is probably prone to a growth mindset where they're like, okay, this person has a lot of what I'm looking for. It doesn't seem like there's any deal breakers present. It doesn't seem like there are certain issues that are going to be issues that are like, you're going to deal with issues in a relationship with anyone that you're with, but there are some issues that you might not be interested in dealing with, some issues that you've already been there, done that. And so when you have that clarity, when you have more of a growth mindset, it's like more the relationship's about like how can we spend more time together? How can we work together? How can we compromise together? So it's really common to have a soulmate approach. And I think as we mature, we are more inclined to develop some more growth-oriented relationship building skills approach. One of those would be to make sure that you're working with somebody that these deal breakers aren't present. You're not something's not going to jump up and suddenly you're going to say, hi, Lexi. These are my beautiful earrings made by Lexi Hardy, and she's going to come to yoga today at 11. Hi, Monty. So, you're not, if you have this soulmate approach and you're not doing the like pre-qualifying assessment that's like rational, where you're considering a relationship, hi mommy, before getting into it, and you're getting into it and you're jumping all in, you're going to get emotionally involved in a relationship. But in a growth secure orientation, you know that you're relationship building, and you know that you've chosen someone to work with that doesn't hint of a giant rupture. Barb Beck said to me, getting emotionally involved with somebody who doesn't meet your requirements, or who doesn't fulfill these deal breaker, these ideas of what could actually break your relationship. There's another word I'm looking for, but getting involved with somebody that doesn't meet your requirements is a recipe for heartbreak. So, with the secure, mature growth mindset, you're taking someone, knowing that all people have issues, that there's not necessarily just one person that you can build a great relationship with, that you can grow with, that you can develop compromise with. And then the beginning phases of your relationships is feeling out if it's going to work. And so we're all really prone to get attached and connected and have intense chemistry and emotional engagement and entanglement. But some of these ideas and concepts and using your head a little bit can open the space for a healthier relationship, for a longer lasting relationship. And ironically, it takes a lot of experience, maybe a few really hot and brief, or hot and intense, hot and cold, off and on soulmate relationships before you come around to a more growth or secure type of relationship. And ironically, 73% of people do believe in soulmates. And it's not that I don't believe in soulmates by any means, but it's an approach to relationships. It's like, is this destined, or is this something that I'm working with in my life? Is this a choice that I'm making and I make it what it is? Or is it just got to be this guy, it's got to be this thing, because they're here and now, and I've got to apply this whole structure and format to it because that's what I'm looking to fill. So this person's here, so I'm going to put them in that. And there's just a lot of flaws there. And really, ultimately, with maturity, with security, with experience, but hopefully maybe just with like evolution and knowledge, we can do this without all of that practice. You can choose a relationship that, what was I going to say? I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say there. Anyway, so hi Rick. How you doing? Right. So without that such dramatic, oh, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, like, a really healthy approach for a relationship is to have alignment, to have that heart energy, to have that passionate connection and, intensity and engagement energetically, but to also have the head balanced with that. So to have all three of those parts balanced. Okay. So that's all I wanted to say this morning. Thank you guys for being here. Again, it might not be all I have to say this morning. But thank you guys all for being here. And, I will put the link. Oh, I wanted to put the link in the comments, like on my page, Erica Haynes Love and Life Coaching. I have a video that talks about the zodiac and relationships, and it talks a lot about attachment there. So if you want to talk more about these concepts, the three concepts I'm talking about a lot today that are becoming more well-known in relationships is attachment. What's your attachment style? The fact that we tend to go with what's familiar or what we learned growing up, or the bonding that we experienced with our parent or caregiver growing up, and the different ways that we seek relationships and seek partners based on our attachment. And then this concept that I'm talking about today is like, do you have a soulmate approach or do you have a growth approach? And the fact that that's more common as we age, and it's actually more common with men. And no, it's actually less common with men. It's more common with women, which is probably surprising, like counterintuitive to what most people would think. And then the other concept is this idea of deal breakers. And To add on to that, the idea of awareness of issues. So deal breakers is like, reasons that you've broken up with people in the past, or issues about children or religion or marriage, things that you just can't work with, no matter how powerful the attraction is. Being aware of that, mindful of that before getting very emotionally involved in a relationship. And then the other concept is that no matter who we're with, we're going to be dealing with issues. So when you think about it, it's like there are physical issues, there are health issues, there are substance issues, there are mental health issues, there are financial issues. There's a lot of different issues that you're probably aware of and familiar with, power control issues, and maybe you've had some experience with. And you don't want those triggers, or you feel like you're done with those issues. And that can be another way to navigate who you get involved with. So it's very common for us to have this destiny soulmate orientation, is what I'm saying. And I guess I'm just saying that surprisingly, like even for men, but that the fact of the matter is that leads you on a path of relationship where there's a lot at stake. A lot of intense dynamics and a lot of doubt and questioning and back and forth and black and white, and brief or long but explosive relationships, and coming around to a more mature, secure approach, which is recognizing this person has things I can work with. Let's try working with it. How does it work? How can we start to spend more time together? How can we compromise? How do we work together? And then you're feeling that out at first. And so the relationship going well, or like starting off slowly in the beginning, adds up to a better long-term enduring relationship when you take that approach than the soulmate relationship, which probably starts out, or the soulmate approach or psychology or destiny psychology about a relationship, which probably starts out really strong, and then something happens and it's like, oh my gosh, this might not be the one. Oh my gosh, my one might still be out there. And it's intense, and I'm sure you guys can relate to it, because I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, have had that experience. And then, and that's dramatic. And then your partner feels that when suddenly, everything was strong and now suddenly you're not sure. So, I will put, I'll put it in the comments, the video, or you can look on my page, Erica Haynes Love and Life Coach, that talks about the zodiac and relationships. It's a video from the beginning of last summer that I did, but it talks about the attachment styles in relationships if you want to learn more about that. And I'll also put in the comments how to schedule a love alignment session with me if you want to talk to me further about your life and your relationships. Okay? So thank you guys for being here. And hi, Maddie. So good to see you. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.